I just had a complete brain fart. I smoked weed before I got up here. It's a fun day. I've been doing a lot of traveling lately, so my head's all over the place. Like I went to New York last week, and I love going to New York City. It's the best. You always see something weird up there. Like I was standing on a street corner with another comic, and we were smoking some weed, and we saw a transvestite walking down the street. And I say transvestite because he looked like, oh, I lost the bet, not like, this is my life, you know? Like, it was like, you know, he had like 5 o'clock shadow and Timberlands. It's like, you're not convincing anybody, guy. And I looked at my friend, and I was like, hey, man, I bet you can't get her number. And he was like, oh, piece of cake. And when she walks by, my friend's like, hey, babe, looking good. Think I can get them digits? And she just goes, nope, and keeps walking. I was like, oh, man, she didn't want you so bad. She didn't even try girl voice. Like, she went like octaves deeper. She might as well just pulled the dress up and been like, how about these peaches, huh? Like that. It was fun. We were having a great night. I was like, oh, this is going to be so much fun. Then we're walking through a park, smoking some more weed. And I saw a homeless guy. And my friend's like, hey, don't make eye contact with that homeless guy. As I was making eye contact with that homeless guy. And then he yelled out, he's like, hey, what are y'all smoking? Can I hit that? And we were like, yeah, sure. So we started smoking with Tom, his name was. He was pretty cool. And he started talking about how his cousin just died. And I was like, oh, man, my cousin just died. And he was like, yeah, my mom and my grandma are dead, too. And I was like, oh, man, my mom and grandma are dead. And then my friend looked at me and said, hey, Matt, why are you having a sadness battle with a homeless man right now? It's like, oh, goddamn, I thought I was happy. Now I'm battling homeless Tom for suicide rights in this rat-infested park. This is not good. It's fun. Yeah, I'm 23. I just moved out of my dad's house. I kind of miss him. My dad, he always gives me, like, the best, worst advice, you know? Like, on my 21st birthday, you know, you're supposed to go out and drink as much as you can and all that. And I think alcohol is dangerous, so on my 21st birthday, I did something nice and safe. I took a bunch of mushrooms and LSD. That's what I did. What's the worst that could happen? I'll get lost in my own head? That's not a problem, you know? And I told my dad about it, and he was like, well, you're going to be experimenting with drugs. Let me tell you the dangers of drugs. He started going through the whole thing, you know, don't smoke meth, don't do crack, don't do heroin. And I was like, well, what about weed? You haven't mentioned weed yet. And he said, well, here's the thing. Weed's not really a drug. Drugs are things you're willing to suck a dick for. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. Dad, some oddly helpful but true advice, I guess, you know? And I started thinking about it more, you know? I was like, wait a second, does this mean mom's addicted to rent money? I'm just messing with you guys. My mom's dead, so yeah, she's definitely not sucking any dicks. Yeah, that was sad. I probably shouldn't make jokes about that, but I do. Yeah, it's true. I lost my mom 5 years ago. Well, I didn't lose her. I know where she is. Oh, that was dark, huh? Yeah, it's Sunday. I'm going dark. Yeah, no, she passed away 5 years ago, and like I still keep her Facebook page up, and like her birthday was a few weeks ago, and people will still post on her wall for her birthday. They'll say things like "R.I.P. Sweet Angel, Happy Birthday in Heaven," which is nice. But then other people post like she's still alive. They'll be like, hey, Kim, happy birthday. Tell the kids I said hi. So, man, how oblivious are you? There were 700 RIPs before you said that dumb shit. Like, you know? So what I do to mess with them is I go into my mom's account, like, as my mom, and I comment back. Yeah. That's right. Like, hey, thanks for keeping up with me. You're a great friend, Cheryl. See you soon. Cheryl's gonna die. I hate that bitch. I hate her. I've been starting to come to terms with all the bad decisions I've been making in my life. Like, I love making bad decisions. Anybody else? Yeah, no, one person in the back? Okay, it's just us. It's fine. I love making bad decisions. Bad decisions, they're like a potluck, you know? You never know what you're going to get. Sometimes you get a baby. Sometimes you go to prison. It's always different. It's fun. I joined Tinder. That was a bad decision. Anybody who does online dating, if you don't, like, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to, like, look at people's pictures and biographies and see if you like them or not. I don't do it like that. I say yes to everybody. Right? I don't care. Measles, mumps, whatever. Just put it on me. That's all I want, you know? And the other day, I matched with this girl, and her first picture was her holding a gun to the camera, which is a little scary. And then the second picture was her holding 2 guns to the camera, which is like, does she have a hostage? Like, who volunteers to have 2 guns pointed at them? That's crazy. And then the third picture was her with the 2 guns in between her boobs, like her boobs were a holster. And I was like, oh, wow, this must be one of those ride or die bitches all my black friends keep talking about. See what she's up to, you know? And her profile, it said 4 things on it. First thing it said, please don't break my heart. That's a lot. That is a lot of responsibility. Like, I don't know what to do with that. And the second thing it said was 5 men in my life have broken my heart. Please don't break my heart. I'm like, oh my God, she's scary and redundant. This is crazy. And there's like a PS section, and the PS section said, don't ask me how big my boobs are, and be blunt, we aren't teenagers anymore. I was like, well, if I'm being blunt, how big are them titties? You know? That's what she wanted, and she said back 40 double D. I was like, I don't know what that means. Does that mean 40 dudes' dicks have touched them? Because if that's the case, I don't want that. She was like, you're cute, let's go on a date. So we did. And yeah, by date, I mean I smoked weed with her roommate while we talked about the Illuminati, which, you guys know about the Illuminati? They did the election, they did Biggie and Tupac, the whole thing. All right, I'll leave it alone, you're probably in here. And then after that rousing conversation, we decided to have some sex, which was pretty cool for a first date, until she asked me to choke her. Which is like, that's not weird, it's just that's not first date stuff. That's like 8th date stuff, you know? Have some couth, right? Like, but you know, I'm a gentleman, so I choked her. Yeah, that's right, chivalry's not dead. I'll choke a bitch if she asks for it. I will. So I get my hand around her neck, and her hand shoots back up, and now we're in like a Mexican standoff. You know, I didn't know what to do. Instinct took over. I just dropped an elbow on her. No, don't touch my neck. That was in my bio. Size 14 shoe. My mom's dead. Don't touch my neck. That's all it said. That's all it said. Oh man, I just lied to you guys right there. I never joined Tinder. You guys thought I was gonna say my mom's not dead. Now we're both sad, huh? Hey, let's have a cry about it. No, I have a girlfriend, and we've been going out for like 5 years now, and it's getting to the point where like we're trying to figure out how to like spice up our sex life. You know, we're trying new things. Like I wanted to have sex to music, but I don't have a boombox. So what I do is I put on the Weather Channel. I don't know if you guys know this. The Weather Channel plays the same music as softcore porn. That's what I do. Yeah. So I wait for her to come home from work, and I'll be standing there in my nicest pair of whitey tighties, and I'll say something like, "Hey, babe, there's a storm brewing." Huh? Like that. She'll be like, "Turn that shit off. We're going to bed." It's like, all right, yeah. So don't do that. And she also wants to try bondage. Do you guys know what bondage is? Anybody in here familiar with it? No? All right. Bondage, it's like tying each other up with stuff, hitting each other with stuff, calling each other names. She wants me to tie her up and hit her with a whip and call her slave. And I feel like as a white guy, you probably shouldn't give me that power. Like, we've ran with that shit in the past, and I don't really trust myself, is what I'm saying. And also, like, we have a good relationship, but like most good relationships, there's like a level of hatred that we have for each other. And I know if she gets me tied up, something's going in my butt. You know what I mean? I'm not really afraid of something going in my butt. I'm afraid of liking something going in my butt. You know? So I'm 23. In 10 years, I'll be shoving cantaloupes and cannonballs and cactuses. I don't know what people put in their butts, guys. All right, that's my time. I'm Matt Brown. Give it up for me one time, huh? Huh? Y'all ready to get this show rolling? Huh? Everybody.